right, let's jump right into it. Y'all see, I got my got the Lava Heads hockey jersey on today, so let's go. I know y'all seen this one before. This is old. This is probably like my favorite piece of Lava merch though, the Lava hockey jersey. Come on, ChatGPT, what we doing today? All right, how you doing today? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Let me know how I can help you today.
All right, so let's jump right into it. So, owning a screenshot on the blockchain, like, what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say owning a screenshot on the blockchain? Because we've been talking about tokenizing posts, tokenizing posts that go viral. Like, what do you think of tokenizing screenshots?
Sure, let's dive right in. In a formal sense, when we talk about owning a screenshot on the blockchain, we're essentially discussing the idea of creating a unique digital token that represents ownership or proof of authenticity for that screenshot. It's like giving that image a certificate of ownership that lives on a public ledger. And from a professional standpoint, tokenizing screenshots can be a way to verify that a particular piece of visual content is original or was captured at a certain time, which could be useful for provenance, digital collectibles, or even just maintaining a record. Let me know if you'd like to explore that further.
Yeah, I would like to explore that further because, during the NFT like bull run in 2021, like the counter argument for like the NFT or like the picture is like, oh, it's just a picture. I can screenshot and not own the picture, but like you don't own, like you may like screenshot the picture and it's in your phone, but you don't own it. Like you don't own the contract. It's not in your wallet. You may not have like the rights to use it and things that come along with it. Like if you have an NFT and you screenshot somebody else's NFT, but if you actually have the NFT, you can get the airdrops. Like you can't get an airdrop if you don't have the actual contract and the art in your wallet. Can you like elaborate on that?
Absolutely, I can elaborate on that. In a formal and professional sense, the key distinction really comes down to the underlying ownership and the rights that come with the NFT. When someone simply takes a screenshot of an image associated with an NFT, they're capturing just the visual representation. They don't actually possess the token on the blockchain that proves ownership. From a professional standpoint, owning the NFT means you have a unique token in your wallet that can confer additional rights or benefits. For example, as you mentioned, you might be eligible for airdrops, exclusive content, or participation in certain community events, benefits that are tied directly to the ownership of the token itself. In other words, the blockchain doesn't just store the image, it stores the proof of ownership and any associated rights or utility. So while anyone can view or screenshot the image, only the holder of the NFT can truly claim ownership and access the full range of benefits that come with it. Let me know if that clarifies things or if there's anything else you'd like to go into.
So basically, you just have a representation of it. So it's a form of, if somebody screenshots it, they may like it. I mean, they could not like it as well, but they've got they admire it in some shape, some shape or way. And then all they have is the representation of it, and then like pretty much be spreading brand awareness for me, because if I have the actual and you have the duplicate and you're showing everybody the duplicate while I have the actual one, really you're just helping my company or my image or my whatever, like you just helping it grow, So what do you think about that aspect?
Absolutely, that's a very good point. And from a formal perspective, it does function as a kind of organic brand amplification. In other words, even if someone is just sharing a screenshot of your NFT, they're actually spreading awareness of the original asset. They might not hold the actual token or gain the benefits that come with it, but they're still showing it to others, which can contribute to your brand's visibility and recognition. So in a professional sense, that kind of duplication, while it doesn't confer ownership, can actually act as a form of informal marketing. People are effectively showcasing your work to a wider audience, and that can lead to more interest and potentially more value for the actual NFT holders. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to explore on that topic.
So if I had an expensive NFT, I could just screenshot it, tokenize that, and then whatever airdrops I get from holding the expensive one, I can like share with the people that have the tokenized version of my screenshot. Does that make sense?
Yes, that concept does make sense. And to put it formally, it's essentially like creating a derivative token. In other words, you'd be using your original NFT as the source asset and then creating a separate token that represents some kind of shared access or shared benefit for others. From a professional standpoint, you'd essentially be issuing a new token that says, hey, by holding this derivative token, you get a share of the perks I receive from the original NFT. Of course, you would need to be transparent about the fact that these holders don't own the original NFT, but rather a kind of secondary token that you've created. In a way, you'd be using the original NFT as a base and then distributing some of its utility to others through your own tokenization. It's a creative approach, and it can definitely work as long as everyone involved understands the structure and the distinction between the original NFT and the derivative token. Let me know if you'd like to discuss it more.
Yeah, discuss it some more. Like, what do you think of that before I give another opinion?
Certainly. To put it in a formal context, I think it's quite an innovative concept. Essentially, you'd be leveraging the original NFT's value and benefits and distributing them in a controlled manner to others. This can actually create a small ecosystem around your NFT where other people can participate in the perks without owning the original. From a professional standpoint, the main thing would be to ensure clarity and transparency. You'd want everyone to understand exactly what they're getting and what they're not getting. As long as that's clear, it can be a creative and community-driven approach to expanding the reach of your NFT's utility. Let me know if you have any other angles you'd like to explore.
So we talked about the screenshot, tokenizing that, and then getting a piece of the airdrops from the original. Um, what else? I mean, I wanna hear your opinion really before I keep talking because I'm gonna talk at the end. But give me some more opinions on just like the aspect of like the representation, like the tokenization, and then the representation of something that you don't own but you like admire it so much that you want a piece of the second layer because you can't have the first one because somebody else owns it and they want to keep it. So can you just like, I don't man, just keep stating like how you feel about that? Like, is it innovative? Is it a new great approach? Do you think it could backfire? Like, give me some honest opinions.
Of course, let me give you a bit more of a formal take on it. I do think it's quite an innovative and creative approach. In essence, you're adding a new layer of engagement for people who admire an NFT but don't own the original. That can be a unique way to build community and to let more people participate in the ecosystem you're creating. On the positive side, it can definitely drive more interest and bring people closer to the original asset, even if they don't own it. It's kind of like creating a fan club where members get some perks from the main holder's benefits. It can strengthen the community around your NFT and increase overall visibility. On the flip side, there are a few things to consider. There's always a possibility that if not communicated clearly, people might misunderstand the nature of what they're getting. They might think they have more rights than they actually do, so transparency is key. It's important to make sure that everyone understands this is a derivative token and not the original asset. Overall, I think it's a fresh and intriguing idea. That's definitely something that could set you apart and add another layer of engagement for your community. Just make sure to keep things clear and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, I think people are not too fond of derivatives, but if you have a solid plan and like a theory, I don't think that there's anything wrong with the shit. I said dividends, derivatives. There's nothing wrong with derivatives, but like you said, you got to know that it's a derivative. Like if you're sitting here going off the opinion or going off the theory that hey, this is the original, and then you get caught up in the rabbit hole and the loophole and the spin cycle, and you're not a happy camper anymore at that point. So the derivative aspect definitely needs to be specified. But let me see. What about? We got a list of questions, but I don't know which one I wanna. All right, tell me some more. What else are you thinking over there?
Absolutely, and you're completely right that making sure everyone knows it's a derivative is key. It's all about setting the right expectations so people understand what they're getting into. Now, in terms of what else I'm thinking, from a professional standpoint, another angle is to consider how these derivative tokens fit into your overall strategy. For example, you might think about how you want to distribute them, how to ensure they have some kind of utility or value that makes people feel like they're part of something meaningful, and how to keep the community engaged over time. Also, there's the question of how you communicate all of this. Being transparent about the purpose and the limits of the derivative tokens can actually build more trust and loyalty with your audience. It's definitely an interesting approach, and it shows you're thinking creatively about how to engage people who might not otherwise be able to participate. So, overall, I think it's a solid idea, as long as it's well thought out and communicated clearly. And it's definitely something that could set you apart in the NFT space.
All right, so I would like to do um, I would like to do something like this in the future, but I think we just have to wait till the technology irons itself out. But the tokenization of screenshots, the tokenization of, I mean, just think about it. If we went on OpenSea and we could see somebody tokenize the NFT image itself on OpenSea, then you take a screenshot and tokenize the token that's tokenized. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, just the wordplay around that. Like,
It really is a fascinating concept, and from a formal standpoint, it shows just how layered and meta the world of tokenization can become. It's like a series of digital reflections where each layer adds a new dimension of ownership or representation. And yes, the wordplay and the concept itself can sound a bit mind bending. Tokenizing a token of a token is definitely to wild loop. In any case, I think you're right that as the technology evolves, these kinds of ideas will probably become more refined and maybe even more accepted. It's definitely a creative frontier, and it's great to think about the possibilities. Thanks for the fun discussion.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm going to create me, um, man, I'm going to create something. Like we all know this. We just don't know what is going to come about all this. But anyways, great conversation. Sum everything up for me that we've been talking about from the beginning to end. Just the tokenization of tokens.
Absolutely, or let me sum it up for you. So essentially, we had a great conversation about the idea of tokenizing screenshots and creating derivatives of NFTs. The core concept we discussed is that by taking a screenshot of an original NFT and creating a token from it, you can share some of the perks or airdrops associated with that original NFT with others. We talked about how it's important to be transparent about the fact that these are derivative tokens so people understand what they're getting. Overall, we explored how this can be a creative way to build community and spread brand awareness, even if it's a bit of a mind-bending concept. We also noted that as the technology evolves, these kinds of ideas might become even more refined. So in short, we've been talking about the layered and innovative nature of tokenizing tokens and how it could open up new possibilities in the NFT space. Let me know if you need anything else.
Man, that's crazy. All right, that's it. You have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks. You have a great rest of your day too, and we'll chat again soon. Take care.
Laupok gan mai.
Laupopkin Maingra.
Haha, she caught it. I didn't know if she's gonna catch me at the end. I told her, "See you later." She said, "See you later." Um, but nah, on a serious note, just the tokenization of token, or tokenizing post, or tokenizing token. I don't know, bro. It's like how she said, the layered in layers of the tokens, and how you can just boom, 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 boom. Like they get the layer one, layer two, layer three. You got this, you got that, interwoven on top of. I don't know, man. It's just so many ways to play it out here on the blockchain. You just gotta figure out what you want to do and do it. But yeah, that's the end of that, man. We're talking about tokenization of screenshots, and I'm gonna come back and keep talking about it because this is gonna be a big thing. It's gonna onboard the normal people into the Web3 when they figure out that you can tokenize posts. I know it may sound a little, but trust me, I've been here, bro. I've been here. I know. I can't say 100% I know what's gonna work and not gonna work. But man, when I see something and I get a good feeling about it, I'm usually, you know what I'm saying? So I get a good feeling about tokenization of posts. So with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one.